Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today because, education is dear to my heart. And, just being able to help others to understand and just bring folks on that understand the value of education uh, through everything that you do. It's going to help you have a better, I believe in education, a better life, a better foundation, and a better way of understanding certain things. So I'm excited about the show today. How you doing, Michelle? How you doing? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Educators, they're amazing and, they don't get enough acknowledgement about what it takes to be a good educator and the things they go through. But with our guest today, she's going to talk all about educators are amazing, even us.
Wow. And I tell you what, I can't wait to get this started. Todd, I know we about ready to get this thing started.
Yes, we are. Here we go. We're starting here in 2 seconds.
Now.com. It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Doctor James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. I hate to say it, but all of them are fantastic. At least I think I'm a little biased toward that, but we always, and Michelle always hook up, bring on some of the top guests in the world to help us educate, to help us bring insight, to help us inspire, and to help us bring joy. I mentioned the word joy to others' lives. And it's so important when we all work together to create this thing called joy. And I believe that through education, whether it's formal education, whether it's education in life, it brings us to have a foundation where we are able to understand and be able to uh, disperse that understanding for the betterment of mankind. What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Cooley?
I think it's important. I mean, you have done a lot as far as, um, being part of the education system, and it's such a vast system, but a lot of people, they need to know what educators go through and also how they bring amazing gifts and talents and knowledge to the education system. And we have one of those amazing educators today for the show.
Well, I am so excited about this guest that's going to come on. And of course, we're talking education. This is an educator. So, whichever platform that you're watching this on, whether you're watching this on E360 TV, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, over 68 live different platforms, welcome to the show. And if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching this on, comments portion of it. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. And Todd at the our studios, KCBQ, AM 1170, FM 96.1, will put you through. Michelle, I can't take it no longer. Can you please introduce the title of the show, the purpose, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Oh, most definitely. So today's title is Educators Are Amazing, Even Us. And we're having a sit-down discussion with Dr. Janet J. Sawyer, known as Dr. JJ. She is an experienced educator, leadership coach, accountability partner, and a published author. She's going to talk about the 4 DISC personality styles. She'll tell you what DISC means, tips for communicating more effectively, how to adapt your style to get the best out of all your relationships, and how to apply the virtues projects 5 strategies. Wow. Dr. JJ is committed to changing the way people think about themselves and others by understanding the importance of becoming self-aware, intentional, and mindful when leading their lives and others. In January 2021, she was given the opportunity to become a virtual CSU adjunct professor at Central State University, a historic Black college at university. In the same department she graduated from, the College of Education Central State was a family tradition where her entire family attended. Wow, Dr. JJ taught at the elementary level for 15 years, teaching grades K-6 at the middle school level for 7 years, and teaching 7th grade social studies. She earned her master's degree in curriculum and instruction and one in administration, and completed her doctorate of education. You know, once she retired, she worked for McRail, a nationally recognized education research company, for 9 years. You know what? There's so much to talk about this woman, James. It take me 15 minutes to read her bio. Then we have to go to break. I don't want to do that to an audience. I'm going to let her tell it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Janet J. Sawyer, known as Dr. JJ, to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. JJ.
You got me excited.
How you doing, Dr. JJ?
I'm doing really good. I was looking forward to this talk today, especially talking to another educator. Come on. Yes.
You know how we are. You know how we are.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure having you on, and I've been waiting on this moment ever since my great friend Paula Shaw brought it to my attention, and I said, "Hey, we got to get her on. We got to educate some folks."
Educate, right? I'm good.
So, Dr. Janet, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what makes you happy, what makes you click, and why you're so passionate about what you do?
Well, I grew up, I'm from a military background. And so I had a twin brother and a sister, and my twin and I were born in Philippines. We started school in Okinawa, but then my father moved us to Denver, Colorado. So that's where I grew up. And I stayed there until I graduated from high school. And then I went to Ohio, went to college, and that historical Black university that my whole family on the John side went to. There's even a dormitory in my uncle's name on that campus. What makes me excited? I don't know. I just love education. I really do believe that I was just born to be a teacher. Now, did I want to be a teacher when I grew up? Did I think about being a teacher? No. But when I got to college, I had to get a degree in something. And I didn't want to, be a doctor or anything like that. And so when they said elementary education, I went, I think I can do that. But once I walked into that classroom, I knew it was me. It was never a hassle. It was never hard. I was born to be a teacher.
Wow. Sometimes we find our passion when we do step into a classroom or we have one of those aha moments. And so that is what I am born. That's my purpose. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Exactly. And I retired in 2005. And then 18 months later, I started working with McRail, and it's an educational research firm. And I was a leadership consultant for 8 years. And so I did a lot of work all over the country, working with principals and superintendents on the 21 research-based behaviors that they have to do, and their people that they're leading have to feel in order to raise student achievement. And so I did that for a while. And then I let go of that. And then I got involved with DISC.
Okay. I always have to throw a wrench in the conversation, especially during the first segment. Mm-hmm. And if you had to describe yourself with one adjective on why you are so committed to what you're doing, what would be that adjective, and explain?
Oh, wow. Optimistic, maybe? I'm optimistic. If I put the work in and I pay attention and I listen, then I'm pretty optimistic about my results that I'm going to get with people that I work with. So I would say optimistic.
Optimist. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So, who or what inspired you to? I know you mentioned that you had to choose something when you got in college, but was it family, or the tradition, or family having been educators and going to the same school, or was it an individual that inspired you to want to become an educator?
Well, I'll tell you, you're not gonna believe this, but I graduated from high school at 17 years old, and I wanted to be a flight attendant like my older sister.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't want to go to college, but I lived in a family that wasn't even an option. So I wasn't going to be a flight attendant until I was 21. So what was I going to do? So I decided to go to college.
Uh-huh.
So then I had to do something while I was in college. So I got the degree in education. But honestly, I had never, ever planned on being a teacher. I was just going to college so I could get that time so I could become a flight attendant. But I woke up one morning, that night, I filled out, after I graduated, filled out the application. And then I put a stamp on it. We didn't have computers at that time. So you had to write it out, type it up. And I put it in the envelope in a stamp, and I put it by the door for the morning when I walked out to go to work. I was going to pick it up and put it in the mail. I picked it up and I said, no. Spend all this money. I'm going to be a teacher, and I tore it up. And that's really the way I got into the education. It wasn't from somebody else or other people in my life. It was that.
Wow. I mean, God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And he will identify through certain things what his purpose is for us. And I think that was one of those moments.
That was definitely the moment. Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? We're going to have to take a station break, but we're going to come back because we got a lot more of Dr. JJ coming your way. And if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on, go to the comments, ask any questions that you might have, or pick up that phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A black man's point of
Let's go! It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Boy by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural Deep South town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and we're talking educators are amazing, even us. And I got a hold of this great book by Dr. Janet J. Sawyer and Sandra Davis. You know, so I want to know all about this book. We're gonna get off into it. We're gonna discuss some of the philosophies that you have in this book and a lot of other things. You know, so Dr. Janet, you wear so many different hats. It seems like it's kind of hard to just put one label on you because you are an amazing person doing so many things. You know, currently you are a personality style specialist certified and the People Smart Disc. Could you tell our viewers and listeners exactly what that is?
Well, yeah, I'm a personality style specialist, and I'm certified in People Smart Disc interpretation and a method. I'm a team member also with peoplesmarteducation.com. And what that is I work with people and helping them. They take their profile, their disc profile, and then I debrief them and help them understand their 4 personality styles. Now, the wonderful thing I like about this work is all of us have the same 4 personality styles. We just use them differently. And so once I teach them all 4 of them, then I can teach them how to adapt their style to improve their communication with anybody that they are talking to. Because you know, communication is one of the biggest problems that we have between each other, is how we communicate with each other. And so once I teach them this, and it's only 4, one thing I love about this work, it's microwavable. You know how people like to know something that fast? They don't want to take the time. They don't want to take the time to study. Well, the way that I teach it, you don't have to study. All you have to do is listen, pay attention. Now, when I work with you, you'll listen and you'll really learn it. But even today, when we finish up, I'm going to have you do something because you're going to pick up something that you're meant to learn today.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So you want me to jump into what DISC is?
I can't wait.
Okay. All right. The one thing about DISC has been used since 1920. 1920s. It's by Marston back in the 1920s. He wanted to know what normal people act like because they had more psychological tests back then. But he wanted to know, well, how do normal people act? And so that's when he discovered the DISC. He created the DISC. Now the DISC stands for D as in dominant, I as influence, S as in supportive, and C as conscientious. Now it's been used in the business world because businesses have to bring together a group of people in a certain department, and they have to work together successfully so the next department gets that product, and then all of a sudden the product is out the door. So they had to bring people together. Well, they got to think about who are they going to bring together. So they would do the DISC. When I saw this 10 years ago, I just thought of teachers. I thought of kids. But nobody's going to remember DISC. Nobody. So I teach it in a way you won't forget. I'd like to introduce you to the DISC using the birds. So I'm going to refer to page 9 in the book, and I'm going to go over the characteristics of each one of these birds. Let's see, what page are we on? I'm sorry, we're going to go to page 17. And that chapter is, remember I used birds? So it says, how do you fly? How do you fly? So let me tell you about that D. D's are fast-paced. They like to focus on task and be in control. They're big picture thinkers. Now think about an eagle. Don't they fly high in the sky?
Yes, they do.
They soar, they look, and then they spot their prey. They go down. They don't stay down on the ground long. And then they fly away. Well, a D eagle person oversees the whole project. They're very focused. They're independent. They can be so direct and to the point. They're misunderstood sometimes because they just say what they mean and mean what they say. So they like to solve problems. They're big picture thinkers. So that's an eagle. So let's go to the eye. The eye's a parrot. Now you can tell parrots, I'm on page 20. You can tell parrots, walk in a room, you'll see a parrot, they have color on. They wear a lot of color. They go from place to place to place. They talk to this person, and this person. So parrots, they are fast-paced. They like to focus on people. The eagle likes to focus on the task. The parrots like the people. They like interaction and they're enthusiastic. They motivate people. Cheerleaders, you know, can you see it? Those are parrots. They're friendly and they look for social approval. They're fun to be around and they are group oriented and they're optimistic. Now you can tell, Dr. JC, you've already heard two of my primary birds that I use. Now let's move to the dove. The S is steadiness. Steadiness, relationships oriented. That dove is on 21. It's that they like a slower pace. They like to focus on people. They're empathetic. And let me tell you about a dove. And everybody out there, because there's a lot of doves out there, these people, this bird is the only bird that can listen. It's the only bird that listens. And then we have the owl. The owl. Who? What? With? Have you ever been in a meeting and you hear someone go like this? Well, what about this? Well, when did that happen? Well, how do we do it? Have you been in a meeting, Dr. JC, that people just, this person just asked a lot of questions?
Oh yeah, many of them.
They're owls. They can't help it. They got to know who, what, when, where, how. You know, they're detail oriented. They're logical. You know, they are accurate. They follow rules. So there, you had 4 birds lying inside of you. But most of us use 1 or 2 of them more than we do the others. I always call it, they're asleep. But once they become aware, then they start to notice their 4 personality styles. Then they can adapt. They become self-aware of how they are communicating. Now they can say, uh-oh, I'm getting ready to fly up in front of an eagle, so I need to be to the point, direct, concise, because they don't want to hear stories. Parrots like to tell stories. Doves like to listen. Owls get details.
I have never heard. I'm looking at your book and following it through as you explain this, and this is incredible. You know, the 4 styles: the eagle, dominant, the parrot. I forgot what you said the eye was. The dove.
Eye's a parrot.
Uh-huh. And the dove and the owl ask all the questions. You know?
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, if you know this, say for instance, you're doing a presentation and you know this, you will create a presentation that will speak to every bird out there.
Uh-huh.
If you know you're going to have people asking who, what, when, where, guess what you're going to do in your presentation? You're going to address that before they can even ask. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then you know that doves are going to be very quiet in a meeting. And so after the meeting, you need to go talk to that dove, because doves are not going to raise their hand. They're not going to ask questions, but wow, they listen. So I used to always have one-on-one conversations with doves after my faculty meeting. Yeah, you learn how to use your birds in order to get the job done and make everybody feel valued. I think that's the most important.
Wow. Do you teach this philosophy all over? I know that you also engage with overseas as well.
Yes, well, I work with my partner, Sandra, and she is in New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay.
She's in New Zealand, and she's been doing this for 25 years. She's the one that trained me, and she's always seen it in the education world, but she works with the DISC that all businesses do. And so she and I have come together to create this for the education world.
I think it's incredible. And I think that with this philosophy, it needs to be shared and need to be taught in the school systems. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm talking about all grades and college as well. And not just that, but it need to be taught to everybody.
Exactly. I was working with student teachers, and they applied this in their lesson plans. And so they had to select 5 students and identify their styles. And then they had to tell me how they were going to adapt their teaching to that bird.
Wow.
It was awesome. It worked. That's why I wrote the book.
You know what, Dr. JJ, this is so incredible. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back. We got a whole lot more that we're going to talk about. So I tell you, whatever platform that you're watching us on, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to that platform, go to the comments, send a question that you might have, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you.
Listen up. It's Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
You know, we live in a world today that people don't even care about how people see them. Don't realize that we can affect an entire generation and build our character. But you gotta do it with these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. It's the 4 C's. In this life you are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you were created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy that cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order on
because a bigger, better, and more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, by Dr. James Cooley, on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
Listen up, it's Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm sitting here with probably one of the greatest educators on record, because she just taught me through this process about 4 different types of birds. And I had no clue. Hey, Todd, you know I got to get some feedback from you.
Well, what a great guest Dr. JJ is. And you could tell, when you asked her to describe herself, and she said optimistic when it comes to education. I mean, that goes to show you it's in her heart. She's enthusiastic about it. I love it. My mom was a teacher for 40 years, so there's a special place in my heart with educators. And so anybody that's been, taught by Dr. JJ, it's a real blessing. And I can't wait to get right back to the show.
Yeah, we got to get right back to the show. And I tell you, our viewers out there, you listen. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the numbers. So I know you out there. Don't be scared. If you got a question, all you do is pick up that phone, down 1-888-344-1160. Todd will patch you through. Or just go, if you don't want to talk on the phone or nothing like that, just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we're going to get you an answer. Dr. JJ, I got to get back to these 4 birds. Okay. My question, and I'm going all off script because you got me excited now with the different personality styles, just like you explained. What type of feedback have you heard from the educational communities on this philosophy? And do you know if this is being utilized in a lot of the schools, public schools, private schools, or et cetera?
No, it's not being used in schools. It's really in the business world, and it's starting because I'm starting it. But I think that there's a little bit of work going on in New Jersey with Merrick taking flight, but very little have educators ever seen this. Or if they have, they did what you call an event. And what I mean by event is they had a personal development or professional development, and they had someone probably come in, do it real quick and leave, and everybody said, "Oh, that was so good," but they do nothing with it. And so when I teach it, you do something with it, and that's called the power of 48. And I'll explain that later. But the one thing that is important that everybody take away from is this is a behavioral model. You can see it when you walk in a room, when you go to the grocery store. I literally, when I first learned this, I saw birds flying all over the place, all the time, everywhere I went, trying to figure out who that bird is, who's that bird, that primary bird. We all have all 4, but we work primarily with 1 or 2. Like mine is a high I and a D. So I'm a parrot eagle. My partner is a dove owl. And she's very high dove owl. So we're opposite. So when we started working together, if you take a profile, if both of you take a profile, she can generate a collaboration report. And that report tells you how to work with each other, how to communicate with each other, how to work on projects together. And why do you think that was important for me to do with Sandra? Well, I'm over here in the United States. I'm on Zoom. She's in New Zealand. I'm an eagle. I would hurt her feelings because I'd be too blunt, to the point. Eagles, I mean, they like harmony. They like a nice steady pace, and they don't like to be rushed. And I'm an eagle. Let's go. Let's get it done. Well, we had to understand each other before we could work together. And once we understood how to communicate more effectively together, now we're writing books together. Now we're doing workshops with people together. And so that's why I love this model, because people can walk out after they stop watching this show. And I guarantee you they're going to try to guess who they are. What birds are they? How do they fly? Especially women. My husband, I know he's an eagle. That's why he drives me crazy. I've heard a lot of that too.
So could you repeat again? Because there are people that trying to figure that out. So can you go over it real quickly again, so that would give them a little fresh insight, and that'll help them figure out real quickly which one of the birds or a combination of the birds that they might be.
All right. Now I'm going to refer to page 77 and 78. And this is what it looks like. It's a cheat sheet. And on the back of that book, you can always make copy and make a cheat sheet. I have this right by my computer, my phone, so that I can start to identify people right away when I answer my phone, and I know exactly where to shift. So I'm going to read the front part of this book, this card with the birds on it. And it says, the D is an eagle. So everybody, if you can get that eagle in your mind, they fly high. They swoop down and get their prey. Okay? So keep that in mind, the eagle, bottom line. Tell them the bottom line. Don't give them a story. Take charge. They take charge. They're independent. They're risk takers. You know what their virtue strength is? Assertiveness. Think about it. Who are the D's in your life? Let's go to the I, which is a parrot. You can see these right away because they're colorful. They move around a room. You could be at a party and you can see them go over here, talk to this person, and over here, here, here. They're optimistic. They're enthusiastic. They're motivational. They're social. Their virtue strength is friendliness. But then we go to the dove. And the dove is steadiness, relationship oriented. Maintain status quo. Remember, they don't like change. They like things to stay kind of the same. They're harmonious. They always want to make sure everybody feels valued. And then they're empathetic. Their virtue strength is patience. That owl, that C, is compliance. They are detail oriented. You will know these people right away. They ask a lot of questions. They're logical, they're analytical, they're accurate. Their virtue strength is integrity. They follow those rules. Now, a lot of doves are listening, I'm sure. And there's one thing that I always tell you is I always give doves permission to say, or let me say it this way, they have to exercise a muscle. And that muscle is called no. The other birds don't have trouble saying no. The dove does, because they don't want to disappoint. They don't want anybody to be mad at them. And so when I work with doves, I really help them learn how to say no in a way that makes them feel comfortable. So in other words, I give them permission to say no. If you want to know anything, go see a parrot Parents get around. If they don't know the answer, they know who knows. They're influencers. They connect people. If you fly above an eagle, please, please, please don't get your feelings hurt, because they don't mean to hurt feelings. They're very task oriented. Get to the bottom line.
I just figured out which combination of these that I am.
Okay, let's hear it.
I am the eagle.
Of course.
But I'm also the owl.
Of course. And my question is, remember, the eagle and the owl are both task oriented.
Yes.
The parrot and the dove are people oriented. So do you ever get people say to you, you're so aggressive?
All the time, especially at home.
because your virtue strength is assertiveness, but the other birds see it as aggressive.
That's the only way I know.
I know. So when you're talking to people as an eagle owl, you have to think and then let go of the eagle owl and bring up your dove and ask questions.
Uh-huh.
That's hard for an eagle.
This is so right, how you explaining this. And if people sit back and just pay attention to what you said and go out and get your book, and so that they can get this little cheat card
That's right.
in there, they will be able to figure certain things out. During the time that we're on that, can you tell our view? I think we got to take a station break. I'm getting ready to get in trouble. Todd, don't beat me up. I mean, don't beat me up, Todd. I got off into this. We got to take a station break, but we're going to come back, and I'm going to ask that question again. I just hope my producers don't get me. Yeah, I dropped the ball on that one a little bit. I was caught up. I was caught up in the moment. You know, so we're going to take a station break. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching us on, or pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences of
Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be on it, to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z, and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
Your life. Dr. James
Learn lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And hey, Todd, don't beat me up, man. I got carried away, man. I got carried away with the personality traits, and you probably trying to figure out which one of them apply to you, Todd.
I think I'm a little bit of all the birds.
But you are all the birds. But which one is your primary?
Well, I hate to say it, but I think I'm the owl, because I'm always wondering who, what, when, where, what's going on. What do I need to do? Where do you need me?
That's right. And it goes right with what you're doing. I mean, it's perfect.
Wow. I think we got about 8 minutes left, Todd, or 7. And so we got a lot of ground we got to cover. First of all, JJ, can you tell them where they can get your book?
They can go to Amazon, and it's called Educators Are Amazing, Even Us, and it's on Amazon, and so they can purchase it there. Yeah.
So wow, let's get back into this, because you kind of you had me, and I almost missed a commercial break, and we got to pay the bills.
Right.
So are there any misconceptions with the discs that you have heard of?
Well, the thing when I work with it, no, not really, unless people take it to a negative piece. It's not negative. It really does give you an opportunity to value everybody in the way that they choose to fly. They're only going to fly 4 ways. So you can learn how to fly 4 ways as well. And so when you walk up to somebody, it really is your responsibility. Everybody that's listening to this, you're listening to it, not the neighbor. So the next time you fly up to somebody, don't wait for them to adapt, because they haven't been here. Now you can adapt. You can choose how much time you want to spend with people. Maybe you're a dove and being around eagles, it makes you uncomfortable. But at least okay, I can spend 5 minutes with them and then go fly away. So you can control you more. And I really like control. I like being in control of me.
Absolutely. I know what I do. I don't know what everybody else will. I like being in control, because I know it's going to go, hopefully the right direction that I have planned according to the goal and intended result. So communications have to be affected in everything that we do. Otherwise, we won't be able to convey our thoughts, our opinions, the direction that we're going. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I do believe that if you can't communicate, especially today, you guys, now is more important than any time, because people are used to texting. I even teach people how to text an eagle. How to text a dove. If you're texting a dove, you've got to say, well, hello, Mary. I hope the day is starting off well for you. I just wanted to ask you a question. If you're doing an eagle, you can go, are we meeting up today at 10 o'clock or what? So it helps you figure out how to communicate so that you can get heard. Instead of, like if I go to you, and I really talk a lot about this with eagles, because a lot of the birds go to eagles and they try to tell them a story, and they don't want to hear a story. Like I'm going to talk about the owl. The owl will go to the eagle And then they'll say, well, I did this report and I looked at this and this and this, and the ego does not hear that. But if they go and say, we lost $10,000 last month, you see what happened?
Undivided attention.
I got your attention, didn't I? And so then all of a sudden you're going to say, what? And I'm going to say, we lost $10,000. You're going to go, why? So I'm going to let you direct me on how much I'm going to tell you. Instead of me trying to go in and tell you everything, and then you say, would you get to the point, and then my feelings are hurt. You see? So when you are communicating with the ego, you have to be direct and to the point. You better stick to business and focus on results, and don't waste their time with small stuff. But when you're communicating with a parent, build rapport. You got to build rapport. Hey, girl, did you go to the party last week? Oh, I had so much fun. You got to build rapport before you do business. Provide a warm and friendly environment, and don't discuss too much detail. Owls, don't talk details to parrots. Parrot, communicating with a dove, show sincere personal interest. Be calm, easygoing, and patient, and ask owl questions. And then with the owl, don't be informal, casual, or loud. Be organized and prepared. Don't force a quick decision, because owls like to do research. So those are things you can think about when you are communicating with the different bird styles. Just remember this. Treat people the way they like to be treated, not the way you like to be treated. It's a whole different golden rule. Remember the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This work is treat people the way they like to be treated. And then once you connect, you can take them anywhere. You can communicate anyway, but you gotta land where they are so they can hear you.
That makes sense. Because once you don't fit all, you already know it doesn't. If you try to use the same shoes, some people's feet are bigger than others, or smaller than others. And so, wow, we got about 2 minutes left in the show, really a minute and a half. What are a couple of takeaways that you want our viewers and our listeners to get from this?
Well,
and plus, how can they get in touch with you if they want to reach out to you for your services?
Okay, if you want to reach out to me, you go to peoplesmarteducation.com, and there should be a box there where you can type in and reach out to me, or you can email me at Janet Sawyer at peoplesmarteducation.com. So you can email me that way as well. The one thing that I want to take away is I always teach people a process that will help them implement what I taught right now. And that is the aha moment. And you mentioned that, Dr. JC. You mentioned an aha moment earlier. I usually, and you will find in the book, into certain chapters, where I have reflections from paraprofessionals.
So it's in the book. We out of time. The aha moment. Get the book, read it, get in touch with Dr. JJ. I tell you what, you have been absolutely fantastic. We're gonna have to get you back on again because I want to talk some more. I didn't say more, I said more. So I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank my producer Todd in studio. You're great. I'd like to thank, most importantly, my viewers and our listeners for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Always dream big, think big, and be big. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. We'll see you then.
It's your life.
Del Walmsley interviews Chad